so this week I'm going to be doing some more Fate. I would have loved to record with Burn, however, the last 3 matches I played on Moto testing for the PT, I faced against 2 decks playing main deck core Firewalkers, so I feel like playing Burn and playing Magic Online is not a very reasonable representation of anything that happens in the real world, because 30% of my opponents will not be playing Junk, and way more of my opponents will just be playing Burn Hate because people just play Burn on Moto because it's cheap. Um, as for Standard, I'm probably going to kick into Drive on that pretty soon. I have GP Miami coming up, and also I just want to get extremely familiar with all these cards that I haven't played for the last, I guess it's 4 months now? Jeez. Yeah, the last time I played a game of any kind of Standard for prizes, like online or anything, was like the 3rd week of October, so I need to familiarize with everything, all the new interactions, all the format stuff, because the next PT is only 2 months away, and that turnaround is real tight. Ooh. This is actually a pretty close pick. Platform is a huge blowout, and usually taking the rare is awesome. Like, this card just messes up combat phases completely. But Wild Slash is the 4th best common. I think if it was, give me 1 second to see what we said about this. So I ended up taking the rare. I think that it was close. I have to load up this document that we had from our giant limited discussion with Chris Fennell, to see whether we had that above Wild Slash or not. I think we had it below Elite Scale Guard and Pyroclasm, and some people had it below Sabretooth, but I think Sabretooth was a little iffy. I'm not the hugest fan of that. This pick, I think Cloud Form is very, very good. I think Cloud Form is not only the most powerful card in the pack, but it lines up with a rare, which is something that's really awesome. I like to stay on color with my rare as much as possible in this format, because it's kind of easy to line up a deck that you always play your first pick rare. I think Sandstep Outcast is probably the next best card in the pack, but it's kind of overrated. If like the Cloud Form was a random uncommon, I'd actually take the Lotus Path Djinn over it. This is just like an okay, like a good 3-drop, but nothing super exciting. Whereas Cloud Form is like free roll victories. Oh look, blue is open. That card is by far the best card in this pack. There's a common and a rare missing, which means that someone to our right is probably taking a Bathe in Dragonfire or a Sandstep Outcast, are the 2 most likely cards to take over the Surveyor there. Or just like literally they just first picked a rare and took the card that's on color with their rare. Soul Summon's probably the next most powerful card in the pack. Reality Shift is fine, but very replaceable. It's like one of the worst removal spells you can have, I think. Giving them a 2/2 doesn't really help. Like, being able to just like kill their blocker and get in is one of the big draws of removal spells in this format, right? I don't think there's anything that's too considerable. I think King Guard is a card that people initially overrated. 3/3 is a really dirtily size. It doesn't really get through anything, and it's actually harder than you think to get the lifelink enabled. So I think Surveyor is by far the best bet here. So here's where the interesting picks start. This second Harsh Sustenance implies there's not a lot of white in the pack, so I'm guessing the person on our right is trying to go white-red. I'm leaning towards Hunt the Weak to solidify into green, but Whisk Away might just be the better pick. Though I think red's probably just going to get cut. Even though I like white-red, or red, I like red-blue the best of any of the color combos, but I think Hunt the Weak is better than Dismal Backwater, even though we're going to end up Sultai most likely. It's the most powerful effect. You could also just get a bunch of Teamer cards, which is like, even if the person to our right is red, we could be green-red, or green-blue splash red. I think I really dislike Whisk Away. The fact that it can't be used as like a plus tempo trick, like you have to attack and then like when they block, hit their creature. I'm not a big fan. Well, green. Wow, what happened with this pack? There's 4 cards missing, and it's a rare, an uncommon, and 2 commons, and Bathe in Dragonfire is still in the pack. I think Beastmaster is better than Bathe in Dragonfire. But, jeez, it is close. I'm going to take the Beastmaster because I'm still not sure red is actually open. But that could be a huge mistake. It's also the Grim Contest, which is like the next most considerable card. This is a land. Jeskai Sage is the other best card, but I feel like I am pushing in this direction of this Sultai defensive deck, and I want to pick up lands if I can here, and let me pick up more Archer's Parapet styles cards in the last pack. I don't really want to move in on a black card here because I'm looking to be green-blue base. Sage is a fine 2-drop, but it's not the most exciting. We're not. This card's a lot better in Jeskai and blue-red, where you actually might be attacking with it early, not just using it as a semi-effective chump blocker. Worth noting is the Smoldering Efreets are just coming around. That card's actually really important in the red aggro decks. It's really good. So I think Return to the Earth is the pick here. I don't have any removal right now, and or I have the Haunt, but I guess the Plant's kind of removal. But this card is a really, really powerful sideboard card. It just answers so many things like sieges or dragons or just really whatever. I'm not sold on Sudden Reclamation. I think that it's like a bitter Revelation quality card, which means it's replaceable by like Treasure Cruise or really anything. I think there was Enhanced Awareness that could wheel out of the first pack. There's just so many ways to gain card advantage in this format that you don't need to pick this highly, whereas Critical Massive removal is really important because there's so many very powerful cards. I like the Ambush over the Rats here because I don't look like I'm going to be heavy black enough to play this. I'm not ferocious enough to play the Mastodon. Ambush is also just like a unique and powerful effect. It also works kind of well with the plant form. We get to leave a bunch of instant tricks and force them to figure out what we have. I'll pass on the Mastodon. This guy is just so average. It's so rare that he gets ferocious. This creature... There's just not a lot of creatures that have 4 power that come out under him. There's just Frostwalker, which happened to me at the PT, but by the time he's a 4 power creature, the 3 toughness is a big issue, and there's already a bunch of X5s in the way. Sultai Emissary is a very powerful effect. 2-drops are very important, but I think based on my mana, I'd rather have the Thornwood Falls. It'd be solid blue-green. Like blue-green base. Do kind of want to take this card, but I think the land is more important. Take a Map the Waste in case I get more splash stuff. Wheel another land. So I'm pretty solid on Sultai mana. I'll hate that over a random counterspell. Mind Rot is still Mind Rot. I don't mind the Rats here. It's a acceptable defensive creature. Maybe like more of a 2-drop than something else. I don't really mind Map the Waste. We're doing a lot of curve jumping here. I think we ended up in the right colors for our seat. We did not see a lot of blue past these 3 cards. Worth noting, but we didn't see any Reaches or Drown in Sorrow, Dowsing Gloom. That's the card I'm looking for. We didn't see any of those around like 4th or 5th, which kind of implies that black is, a couple picks back, getting a little cut. Oh, wow. I think I want the Rattleclaw. I think that this card is extremely powerful. Dead Drop's really good too. This may be a pick that changed with this last set. I remember in Triple KTK, it was usually the Rattleclaw because Dead Drop kind of was garbagey on stalled boards. I really don't know what the pick is here. Just looking at my deck, I have a feeling it might be the Dead Drop to clear anything out of the way. I think I'll pass on the Rattleclaw here. Which kind of sucks because I'm pretty high up the curve. I'll take the Radical, actually. I'm going to take the Loxodon. I do have to remember that I passed this card. Yeah, I'm nowhere near white or red, so I think it's stretching to assume that I'll double splash. Or that I really need another 5-drop like the Shanker. I'm pretty sure I want Injury out of this pack. I guess Saddleroot is quite absurd. I think Saddleroot is the more powerful card. I'm just so light on removal right now. Injury's not even that good of removal, though. I'll take the bigger creature. I think if it was like a Throttle, I'd be more excited. This is not actual removal. This card is one of the biggest potential blowouts in the format. If I had any O5s at this point, I would snap this card off, but Loxodon is just generically powerful enough. Worth noting, we're seeing a lot of blue-white fixing kind of just floating this way. I don't think it really means anything. There we go. Getting rewarded for our color choices. I think 06 is the best blocker here. I don't have a lot of flying blockers, though, so I think I'm actually going to take the Flock. I just need ways to defend in the air if I'm getting attacked by, like, Abzan Sky Captains or whatever that card is. There was a Sagu Archer I passed, but I think that the difference here in power level is pretty insignificant. Like, I'd rather just have the Flock to block flyers. Rather have the potential Splash Land in case I get a Dune Blast or something crazy. Snap off that Sagu Archers on the wheel. Remember, there's a million Bringlows going around. This card's at least playable. Ramparts is going to be very hard for my deck to beat, though. I don't really need a generic crappy morph. This card's actually way better than people think it is. It's a removal spell. Just taps their guy. Yeah, it just taps anything over and over and over. You can often set up the double tap of two things. It also being 07 is huge. It just blocks anything on the ground. I don't think I want this map to waste. I've filled up with morphs. Could use a Parafet. Kind of glad I didn't take the Dead Drop. If I did, I would have taken the Debilitating over the Saddleroot, though. I think that the Radical might be more important with these Loxodons, though. Just give me more ways to get to my 6 early. Just flip them and get in very powerful early attacks. I need a few more ways to be defensive, I think. That's the missing part. This Monastery Flock was huge. Smoke Teller is exactly what I'm looking for, actually. Just a generic body to get in the way. Sorry, Wesco, I'm not taking Firehoof Cavalry. Kintry Warden is actually a very reasonable sideboard card. The map and the Barons are kind of a package in case I get past something absurd in Abzan. Or open. Gosh, at the PT, there was a 5th pick Doom Blast in my second draft. I don't want to take the Abzan Guide. I don't really want Crippling Chill. don't really want Weave Fate. I'm honestly just going to take the Delta. Uh, the reason Jungle Hollow might be a little bit... I don't really want to get stalled when I'm trying to flip a Loxodon as like my 6th land. I also think there might be like some Delve interactions I can pick up. I don't have a Delve card yet. This could also be me trying to justify a rare draft, so I'm not going to go too deep into it. I think I'm just going to take the Delta. But it's definitely right out of this pack to take one of the fixing cards. Maybe the payoff on the guide is high. I don't have a lot of fixing. I don't want the blue-black, actually. I think I'm going to take the Abzan guide. Oh, boy. Well, I'm going to slam this Saddle Brute and become a very aggressive deck. So the switch on the guide there was that I think that the... if I end up straight Sultai, I don't think the extra land is really worth that much. But if I end up splashing white, like, the Abzan guide is really huge. I think I'm just going to take the Saddle Brute and become a very aggressive-ish Sultai deck, as weird as that sounds. I have a bunch of expensive spells already. I don't really want the Ancestor. This isn't even necessarily in the deck. Trying to figure out if incremental growth or scavenger is better. I don't think I need to pick the scavenger here. It would be nice to have an incentive card. I only have 13, 14 creatures. Ancestor's okay here. I think I just want to take the incremental growth and have the most powerful effect here. I could easily be wrong, though. It's between the green-blue land and the Rite of the Serpent. I think I just want the removal spell. Oh, wow. This pack is weird. I'll take the Morph, the Abomination, but there's so much white coming through. Parafet, not close. Don't have enough Delve for the Vizier. I think I'd rather have the Mandrills than the Combat Trick here. Just the... There's like this requisite one Delve card that you get to play in every deck. And that's kind of the one for this deck. I'll take that. Like, one Delve spell is just always a free roll. I think I've passed enough Pony. Secret is just... I have 2 Cruelties already. I think Secret's just a better enough card. I did pass a bunch of Pony back, so I may have wanted the Blinding Spray, but... Another Blocking Morph. Sideboard Counterspell if needed. Take the Adept. Not a big fan in this deck. I'll hate the Act of Treason. This is actually a deck that could lose that card. Did I take every... I didn't take the Delta, did I? Shucks. Did not take every rare. People have no respect for that creature. That 05, he wins so many games. Just no respect whatsoever. I guess I wish I had taken the Jungle Hollow first, but I think that the payoff on the Abzan guide was pretty high, and the Delta, like I said, without that land, my deck is still fine. I have so many morphs in this deck. I'm very glad I took this Rattleclaw. So I have to cut 2, because this is definitely an 18-lander. I think I want to cut this semi-off-color Typhoid Rats. Gotta love the 5-spell deck. Maybe I want to return to Earth in the main. I have 3 removal spells plus this plant. It's one of the 3s. This card also doesn't have Defender, which is important here. Probably just a Flock. Trying to figure out if Savants is actually better than a Flock in this deck. I have the Archers and the Abomination and the Surveyor. I think I'm okay in the air. I can make a swap if I need to. I definitely want the Smoke Teller here. I don't remember. I'll have to double check what the Right of the Serpent pick was, but that may have been the big mistake. Though just having removal is so powerful in this format. $14 green. $11 blue. 7 black. We already have 3 blue. I get to add. So I need. I'm okay with this because of the Rattleclaw Mystic. I do think my mana might be better if I have the Map the Waste in my deck, so I'm going to take a look at that. You also just have a lot of expensive things to do if I just start ramping. So maybe the Map the Waste does deserve to be in here. My mana gets way better with this card in my deck. Probably cutting a creature. I don't know which one. Maybe just the Smoke Teller. I'm going to hit the Ferocious here. I can board this in if I need to go down the curve. Yeah, if I need to go down the curve, I can board in any of these. I don't think the Typhoid Rats is really where this deck wants to be, though. Because I already have a Virtual Typhoid Rats. Oh, yeah, my 2 slot is fine. If I need to curve out against aggro decks, I have a bunch of options. So, yeah, it's definitely the Smoke Teller. Cool. This is kind of a non-traditional Sultai deck, but I think it's pretty powerful. All the cards are very good.